Hello, my name is Professor Sharon Lewin and I am the Director of the Doherty Institute, a joint venture of the University of Melbourne and Royal Melbourne Hospital based in Melbourne, Australia. I'm also the Foundation Director of the Cumming Global Centre for Pandemic Therapeutics, and I'm delighted to be telling you about an opportunity should you be working in this very important area. Jeff Cumming is a Canadian philanthropist who recently announced a gift of $250 million to the Doherty Institute, an extraordinary act of generosity and is the largest gift ever in Australian history. The gift is going to fund the establishment of the Cumming Global Centre for Pandemic Therapeutics. The centre aims to provide long-term mission-based funding for researchers to develop novel platform technologies that will allow the development of therapeutics for pathogens of pandemic potential at speed. Our goal is to leverage Jeff's gift fivefold over the next 10 years, ultimately to raise $1.25 billion for this incredibly important endeavour. Our state government, the Victorian government, has also committed $75 million over 10 years. We have a number of guiding principles of the Cumming Global Centre. First, we aim to attract global talent from across relevant disciplines to drive impact by providing long-term funding so that people can address ambitious questions related to the mission of the centre. Our focus will be on research in emerging high potential platforms that can be rapidly applied to a new emerging pathogen, as well as invest in target identification of key pathogens through fundamental virology, bacteriology, and immunology. 20% of our funds will be spent on discovery research, and 70% of the gift will fund laboratories here at the Doherty Institute, and the remainder will be for collaborating laboratories nationally across Australia and internationally to make this a truly global centre. What do I mean by platform technologies? Well, platform technologies can get novel therapeutics into the clinic much quicker than traditional approaches. On discovery of a new pathogen, we now have the ability to rapidly define the genomic sequence and ultimately to understand the viral life cycle. Traditional development of therapeutics requires high throughput screening or rational drug design, identifying a novel compound, which then requires may well require modification to enhance pharmacokinetics, preclinical animal testing, and then, of course, phase 1, 2, and 3 clinical testing. And traditionally, this takes significant amount of time, on average 2 to 5 years. And even with existing antivirals for therapeutics of similar viruses, the development, as we saw in COVID and application, took us a long time to get a direct-acting oral antiviral drug. In contrast, if you think of a platform technology that is optimized prior to the arrival of a new pathogen, one can imagine you can rapidly adapt this with a target-specific component, allowing for more speedy development through early development, preclinical testing, and of course, ultimately going through the same phase 1, 2, and 3 testing. Some examples of platform technologies that we believe will deliver therapeutics at higher speed include monoclonal antibodies, nucleic acid targeting technologies, and activators of the innate immune system. Today, I'm announcing the Cumming Global Centre Foundation grants for external applicants. And the goal of these grants is to rapidly galvanise activities aligned with the centre mission. The grant program is a one-off program. However, we aim to support both internal and external investigators through 2 separate grant rounds. Each will have support for 3 years of funding. The first round was internal and required a primary appointment here at the Doherty Institute or within our joint venture partners, the University of Melbourne or the Royal Melbourne Hospital. The second round will have the same research parameters, but now open globally. The foundation grants will fund proposals that address the overall mission of the centre, and this includes the development of platform technologies that will develop therapeutics, pathogens of pandemic potential at speed, fundamental virology, bacteriology, or immunology that will identify novel targets for therapeutics, development of therapeutics that have activity across viral or relevant bacterial families. So, for example, therapeutics that have activity against all SARS-CoV-viruses are of interest, but not a therapeutic that's highly specific for SARS-CoV-2. We're also interested in funding innovations in enabling capabilities such as animal models, organoid systems, assay development, bioinformatics, and other areas. The Centre is pathogen agnostic. All approaches should target a pathogen of pandemic potential, but need to demonstrate that they can rapidly adapt to a new pathogen. What we won't fund is high-throughput drug screening or rational drug design that only targets a single pathogen and doesn't have activity across a family of similar pathogens. And we won't be funding clinical trials of new therapeutics. The Round 2 grant program will provide up to $200,000 a year for 3 years. We encourage applications from all disciplines. Proposals that are high risk, that have a high level of innovation, as well as proposals based on substantial preliminary data, are encouraged. We will review those grants externally by independent assessors and award based on external ranking, as well as strategic alignment with the Centre mission. The recommendation for the top-ranked proposals are then reviewed by our interim scientific advisory board and a recommendation for funding made to the governance board. And we aim for the awards to be announced in June 2024. If you have any questions, please feel free to email the email address you can see on your screen. There are other links and information available on our grants launch site. And you can also lodge questions through the Smarty Grants portal. I look forward to receiving many exciting applications from scientists around the world.